Hey guys. Okay, we're live. Cool. I know it's kind of late, but my intuition has not been leaving me alone about sharing something. So I was like, oh, it's 9 o'clock at night. I'm just gonna share it. um, so I want to preface this with I'm not a therapist. But I have gone to therapy for a long time. And I do know a lot about psychology, and I am getting my bachelor's in psychology, and I've been introduced into these practices that I'm going to share with you today because in the psychotherapy world and the psychology world, they are so effective. It's literally mind-blowing, so I'm really excited to share them. And these are things that my therapist taught me in terms of regulating emotions and helping improve your mindset and just feeling more peaceful and calm in your life in general. So, and I also share these with clients a lot too because they've helped me so much, and because, life coaching is, of course, about goals. um, it's about moving through blocks, moving through challenges, reaching goals, of course, but like things also happen. I work with people for 6 months at a time or longer, and just like shit happens. Like divorce happens, career changes happens, death happens, breakups happen, self-doubt, imposter syndrome, business owners, like we're human. So as we're doing life coaching, like sometimes things come up where like a lot of emotion comes up, and people often want to find the balance of like feeling the emotion and not like repressing it and shaming themselves, but also the balance of like, okay, I want to like move through this and not feel this anymore. So these are 3 ways to move through emotions in potentially half the time or less. These are things that my therapist taught me that I like to share with coaching clients and even friends just because they're so amazing. But basically, in the world of psychology, they're finding that we can't always intellectualize our way through our feelings. Like, we can't always just like shift our mindset or be more positive or think rationally or make good choices or like nourish ourselves or like pause before we act. Like all the good things that we know that we should do when we're upset, like we're not even thinking straight. When we're upset, we lose like 6 IQ points. My therapist told me that, and I was like, wow. Makes sense, because when we're upset, we don't always make the best decisions. So when we're upset, we're not thinking clearly. And CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, is about, rational thinking and tapping into your intuition and like checking in with your body. But sometimes we're not even in a state to think to do that because we're really upset, right? So they've found in the world of psychology that CBT is a top-down approach, like the mind first, but they're finding a bottom-up approach first is more effective, and bottom-up is using the body and then using the mind. So somatic practicing is like where you use the body to process feelings and regulate, and then you come in and you use the mind to process things and regulate, because your mind can't regulate if your body is not regulated, basically, is how I was taught it. And so when you use your body to like process something and like get a release, your body calms down, and then your mind follows it pretty much immediately. And then you can do whatever. You can rationalize, you can journal, you can come up with a plan or whatever you're feeling. But so the 3 main ones I was taught are for anger, sadness, and anxiety, because those are just kind of 3 main emotions. And so the one for anxiety, I'll start with anxiety because it's pretty popular. Anxiety is like a higher energy emotion, so anxiety likes to move, is what my therapist told me. So if you're feeling anxious, like jumping up and down, stomping, shaking, like violently just shaking it off, even running, dancing, like any sort of like fast movement will help anxiety move through your body, and it will get you really, really calm and regulated really, really fast. The first time I used this this trick for anxiety, I was shocked at how quickly I calmed down and how the anxiety didn't ruminate. It actually like moved through, and you'll feel it move through. And you could do this like even if you're in public, if you're short on time. It might sound weird, but yeah, literally go into a public bathroom and like jump up and down and literally shake like an animal, like a crazy person. I mean, who's gonna care, right? Or if you're home, even better, like, step away from your family and go jump, stomp, shake, go for a run, go dance. Anxiety likes to move, so any type of quick, rigorous movement, you're gonna process your anxiety through the body, and then, like I said, your mind is gonna calm down after, and then you're gonna make clear, calm decisions on how to handle your situation as your body regulates, and then your mind regulates afterwards, and you'll feel yourself calm down. Just do it for as long as you think you need to, until you're more calm and you don't want to murder people. Oh, never mind, that's probably anger, not anxiety. So that's the one for anxiety. The somatic practice for anxiety is jumping and shaking, stomping, running, dancing, even if it's 5 minutes, like go in a bathroom and just like get it out. Wild animals do this also when they go through a traumatic event, or they mate, or they are almost killed. Like you'll see wild animals just like shake like violently. They're like shaking the energy off. And then the next practice, so that's the one for anxiety. And if you're just now watching, you can watch this from the beginning after I post it. But that was the one for anxiety. The somatic practice for anger is pushing. So anger likes to push. So like pushing into a wall, like as hard as you can for as long as you can. This is another one that you might be like, oh, that's kind of weird, but it really does work. Anger likes to push. That's probably why you see a lot of angry people at the gym. They intuitively already know, like, oh, I gotta go pump some iron. Like, I'm angry. I need to get this out. So anger likes to push. And like I said, if you're in a public place, you're short on time, just go in a bathroom and just like push against the wall, like lean against it, and like literally until you're shaking, like don't stop. And you'll feel the anger move through. Like as long as you're really paying attention to your internal state, you'll like know when these emotions move through, and they don't come back, which is the cool thing. Sometimes hours later, like if I'm really upset, then an emotion will come back, but then I just do the somatic practice for each of these emotions again, and then it's better. Like somatic practices have totally changed my life. It's so wild. So that was one for anger and for anxiety. And then the one for sadness is a little more in depth, because sadness is a pretty intense feeling. So the somatic practice for sadness, the way to use your body to process sadness is getting on the floor. I wonder if I can show you. And you want to bring your knees into your chest, and you want to wrap around and tuck your head, and you want to like squeeze yourself like really pretty hard. Sadness likes pressure. They have found in psychology that the body, when it's sad, it wants pressure. So that's like the egg position that you get in if you're sad, and then you want to make yourself cry, which when my therapist said that, I was like, what? But crying is a release. Like tears are just cortisol. It's just, that's a good sign if you're crying, if you're feeling sad, like getting in that egg shape and making yourself cry. And even if you're in the car, you could do this and get in the egg shape in the car and make yourself cry. Like think of the saddest thing and just like know, like reaffirm to yourself, like comfort yourself, like, okay, my body is releasing this because I'm crying. Like that is a good sign. And so as you're doing the egg, if you can be on the floor, it's good, because you can egg up, and then you want to release and lay down, and then you egg up again, and you just stay in each position as long as you want until you stop crying. And you'll feel it move through. That one is really helpful. Like you can be super devastated and sad and upset, and that one will help you move it through. And then after the sadness one, I like to like I have a blanket right here. After the sadness somatic practice, I like to just take a blanket and wrap it around. You've probably seen this before, and I just like to comfort myself because it feels good. And sadness likes pressure. Your body loves the pressure when it's sad, like comfort. So if you want to learn more about this stuff, you can research somatic experiencing, but specifically Peter Levine is a pretty world-renowned psychologist that invented somatic experiencing, and he came up with this through, studying psychology and studying wild animals, and it's just groundbreaking. I mean, somatic stuff is like taking the world by storm. Like, the world of psychology is like, oh yeah, we need to use the body. So if you're ever upset, if you're ever anxious, angry, or sad, and you're just like not able to move through it with your mind, like, go through your body. It's so life-changing. I can't make any guarantees, but like I said, like for me, if I do these 3 practices, then my anger, sadness, and anxiety will move through in literally half the time. It is so crazy. So let me know what you think of this, and if you're just now watching, you can start it over when I post it so that you don't miss anything. But let me know if you guys have questions, like you can comment below, or if you just have thoughts about the 3 somatic practices for anger, sadness, and anxiety. They are so life-changing. And if you find yourself forgetting to use these practices, like something that might be helpful is like putting up visual reminders, like sticky notes around the house. Like, I have notes all over my house because if I didn't, I would forget what I'm working on with my therapist and my life coach. But you could put it, on your dry erase calendar. You could put something on your bathroom mirror. You could put something on your fridge. Like, you could just even write out, like, anxiety likes to move, anger likes pushing, sadness likes pressure. And that'll help you remember, oh yeah, if I get really upset, really anxious, angry, or sad, like, use my body to get it to move through quicker. And this is a way where it's not like repressing or shaming your feelings. It's like you're feeling it, actually even more so. You're like embracing it, but then you're also helping it move through. So it's like that nice balance of both. So play around with visual reminders to help you remember, because being a human, we have so many things to already remember to do. So I hope you guys liked this. Don't take it lightly. These practices are literally life-changing, can help so much with emotional regulation. It's quite crazy. And like I said, comment if you have thoughts or questions, and check out Peter Levine's books. I think he has Waking the Tiger and a book called Healing Trauma or something. If you want to study this more, it's fascinating stuff. And if you're a practitioner of any kind, Peter Levine also has like somatic experiencing, like courses that you can take to become trained in this stuff so that you can help other people with it. So yeah, that's it. Love to hear your guys' thoughts, and have a good night.